Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high just ahead of the anticipated IPO of Coinbase, which Coinbase is an exchange that trades cryptocurrencies and so forth. And right now they're on the process of doing a direct listing that's going to become public tomorrow where you can trade that. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, is it good to buy the IPO? And on the day of an IPO, it's going to be a little bit different on this process because this is known as a direct listing. So a direct listing is that they're going directly to the exchange, and it's different than a traditional underwriting process that you have Goldman Sachs and so forth, and they build up demand and do a roadshows. So it's going to be a little bit different, but this has a lot of excitement, and I don't think there's going to be any issue with this on the public market going public. There's going to be a lot of anticipation. But one of the things that is always interesting are plays that are sympathetic plays, sympathy plays that we refer to them as. And I have two ideas that could be good sympathy plays while things pan out with coin as it goes public and some price discovery is there. So when you trade an IPO, especially day of, you could trade it. You want to be in and out pretty quickly. It's not something that you want to buy day of for an investment. I just never seen that where you buy it and then it continues to go higher there. So the day of, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of opportunity to trade and scalp it, but there's some other opportunities that I have seen to be able to play off that anticipation, that excitement that could see some price movement higher. So let's take a look here at Marathon Digital. This is one that I'm going to show you some of the money that I've been seeing flow into this in the options market. But this is one that pulled back today. And if you just take a look here, I mean, prices are stair-stepping higher. This is a play on cryptocurrency, and this could be one that we see some activity or see prices trade higher here. So some of the activity that I saw here happened in the contract with the 55 in April. You see some activity in the 60. And there's some other activity as well in the April 30. It's a 75 contract. So let me open up that right there. And so this is interesting here. This was a trade that was executed. It was one trade. It was 1,500 contracts. It's hard to know if these were specifically bought just where they were reported at. But these are opening buyers. This is an opening position. And when you look at something that's $51, this is a hard to borrow. This could, not the next GameStop trade, but this could force those that are short to cover and feel some pressure. So one of the things I would look on this one is I would spread it off a bit, and spreading it off is buying one, sell the other. 75 is a little bit too rich for my liking if it got to there. So I would be looking to structure something a little bit differently, but I'd also structure it wide as well because this could have some big volatility, price movement in there, which if it did, you're going to have the options that you're short are going to not work as greatly as they would, but it reduces your risk and exposure, and it could be something there. So this could be one, and this is, again, in 17 days, they're looking for some kind of big price movement. $75 on a $51 stock, that's a really big move, but this is also hard to borrow, could be something to take a look at. The other one as well, that's a sympathy play, is this MicroStrategy. It's been very popular. It's been a hot stock. It trades at $848. So this one is expensive per se to some other opportunities. Where when you look at an options market here, the one thing that stood out to me, I think it was the one that stood out to me on this one specifically was in the 416 contract. This was opened a few days ago, but if you look at this 1,000 strike here, these big whole numbers are usually magnets for prices to pull into. It's just momentum buyers just like to push pricing into whole numbers. So this was one that was opened on the 416,000 strike here. So some of them were closed. Some of them were bought, but they're in here. They're sitting on a little bit of a profit. But this is another one where we're at $848. This is another. This was easy to borrow, but we could see some continuation in this one. It's not really my most favorite, and I would do the same thing as I suggested with the marathon. Is I would spread this out. Now I wouldn't do 3 days. 3 days is not enough time, but I would look at something else out in the 17-day time frame. But again, even though we're at 17 days, the we're looking we're looking on this hourly. The 17 days, you have some play in there, but time is ticking away, and you're looking for just big movements in this on the call side higher. But you got to manage your profits, and you got to be in and out. You got to scalp them. So when you're looking at something on a smaller time frame, you got to make sure you are managing winners and managing risk before entry. But those were my two plays that I have. I'm going to keep an eye out that I'm excited about. Marathon, the marathon a little bit more than the micro strategy, because this is more specifically a play on Bitcoin than the reason why it was up. I think the marathon could be a bit of a sleeper trade in the next few days, especially with some of that activity that we saw. I mean, and I don't know why you only buy the $75 strike if you think prices are going to go $75 or higher. So that's what I have. If you think differently, let me know in the comments below. But I'll see you in the next video, and let me know, are you trading coin? Are you going to buy it? And make sure you don't type in the wrong ticker symbol, which is a very common thing. Ticker symbol is going to be COIN tomorrow, coin.